Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we are talking about none other than Pictor. Pictor is a relatively new Walker commander. I think he kind of has like this Mary thing going on. You see that little light on the shoulder there? We're gonna call him Mary's boyfriend. Oh, we got a game crash. Okay, we're playing through. So anyway, Pictor has that weird light glowing on his shoulder, right there, that big blue light. And the only other person that has that is Mary. So we're gonna call Pictor Mary's girlfriend or boyfriend for now, and he's got that weird like golem-looking orc kind of skin to him. So that's kind of weird, but that's what a lot of the guys in this game look like. So anyway, all right, let's find Mary. There we go. Yeah, see Mary. Oh, she doesn't have her light until S class. S class, she gets the light on the side there, but Pictor has it at A class. Anyway, okay, so what we need to know about Pictor. Well, Pictor's skills are, he's a Walker commander. He is a Release A commander during special events. And he's a really good commander for Walker because they naturally have a lot of high accuracy, so worrying about dodge isn't too big of a deal, but it is somewhat of a concern. Just not as big as a concern as it is for maybe infantry or airship. So, that being said, him having a 20% guaranteed hit skill isn't as bad as if, it would be much better if it was 40%, but since he's Walker, it's not so bad. So 20% chance to guaranteed hit, and it increases his crit chance. Well, if you have Walker Mastery and one piece of Walker crit gear, you're probably going to crit every time anyway. So it's just a guaranteed hit skill. No real bonus damage here. I don't think it's that good. However, it is a guaranteed hit. It's one of the best abilities to have. And the only other Walker with a 20% hit is Mia. And the other Walker with a 40% hit is Chief and Moonshadow. So those Moonshadow and Chief I consider in the top class of Walker. And I consider Pictor not necessarily the very top 10 commanders in the game, but a damn close second. And here's why. So Hoodoo, I think, is the best Walker commander in the game because he has an incredible skill called, is it Explosive Blast? But basically what it says, if Hoodoo kills a slot of troops, it ends up hitting every other troops for the amount of HP that those troops had when they died. Kind of like the opposite of a plasma bomb. He has to kill them first, and then they all explode around there. So it's Death Rattle, excuse me. And it hits really hard. But in order for that to work on Hoodoo, you have to be able to one-shot your opponent's troop stack. But sometimes the opponent knows that you're coming up against them, so it's really difficult to do. And there's possibilities that your Hoodoo could just be one-shot by an awakening from a golem, and you can have that with Pictor as well. But what Pictor does provide is he has a 40% skill called Sticky Bombs. And at 40% chance, if the target's hit, it does damage equal to whatever the level is and a half. Now, Hoodoo also has Chain Blast, which is the same ability, but it's only 20%, and it hits for 1%. So Hoodoo's equivalent ability of this one is half, well, not a half as much damage. It's 1% instead of 1.5, and instead of 40% is 20%. So Hoodoo's not as good in that regard. So I give Pictor some kind of an interesting edge in that regard. He is a great frontline, just dominating, kind of like, I'm going to push right through you style commander. He's a great offensive, I'm going to crush everything along the way commander. And as a one-slot bus commander, he really does shine, just not as much as Hoodoo, but like I said, Hoodoo takes a full blast. He has to kill a full slot to really shine. So if you can't one-shot your opponent because you know he's bigger than you or whatever, Pictor is not a terrible choice in that regard. And of course, the Walker Awakening hits all of that front row. So we're going to show you that in action here in a second. In regards to gear, because he has no defensive skills and he really does shine as a one-slot bus commander or just a front row commander, I say build him like you would any normal offensive commander, right? Crit damage or damage. So that means destruction helmet. If you have an advantage over infantry, take the rabbit ears. So I don't recommend ever going dodge on this guy. Just stick to damage. What did I just do? Okay. That happens every once in a while. I thought we were getting an update from support. There we go. Okay. As far as weapons are concerned, you can start off with the typical Walker weapons until you evolve into something better. You know, the Dragon Slayer is just fine for him. It's got attack and accuracy. But as you get better gear options, Skywalker's a great choice. Apocalyptor's a great choice. Skywalker's a cheaper choice, and I personally think it's better. I like the varied stats, even though they're not as high. That crit damage and accuracy, there's a little more accuracy on Skywalkers than there are on Apocalyptors, and there's nothing worse than missing, man. Especially when you only get to go a few rounds, 1 or 2 attacks. Accuracy is pretty important. So Anyway, chess piece, if you know you have a tier advantage over them, take the Black Knight. If you, is it the Black Knight? Yeah, and if you know it, if you have the Walker one, you could use that. But if you don't, Shaledria is preferred over Pangolin in this case. So, yeah. And then as far as pants are concerned, Voltar for accuracy, Maguel for crit. I mean, Maguel or Voltar, if you know you're going to be missing, use your Voltar. If you know you're going to be hitting, use your Maguel for the bonus damage. Don't recommend dodge on him. No Nixop pants. So, anyway, that's how you build him. Now, mine's a baby Pictor, but you'll get the idea here. And I got a replay showing how his first ability works. And his second ability works, actually. Let's see. Report. Did I save it? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. All right, let's try this one. There we go. All right, so this is a typical 12 monster. I will get first strike. Here comes a sticky bomb. So I'll hit the whole front row with this for 1.5% of damage per level. So 15% of damage. So 1.9 million hits the rest for 260,000. That sounds about right. A little lower than what we were expecting, but it's about right. So if I hit for 2 million, he hit for about 200,000. All right, this is the guaranteed hit skill with bonus crit. He was already critting anyway, so he just did the same damage. And then his Gemini proc, so he gets to go again. But notice how that front row is softened up. So every time he gets, if he does trigger it on the first time, it does soften up the rest of the troops, so you don't take as much damage. So that's kind of nice. But anyway, so that's Pictor in action. He doesn't have the 40% hit of Chief and Moonshadow, and he doesn't have Moonshadow's tier suppression beating skill. But as a purely offensive commander, he really does shine in beating people down. I won't say he's good against Plasma like Hoodoo is, because you can accidentally one-shot the whole front row with his Awakening and his sticky bombs. So other than that, I mean, just throwing him in a front row against anyone else, he's going to do a lot of damage and do a lot of burst. But he's a solid A commander. It's not a terrible choice, but one day if you do ever get him to S, he's very hard to get to S. You may consider eating him to go into Hoodoo or Moonshadow or Chief. So anyway, that's our Pictor video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, or you think there's better gear, or I might have missed something in general, go down into the comment section and write something in. Say hello. Join our little community. Subscribe to the video. We just started this community up just a few months ago, really. It's kind of been fledging, and now we're really putting it together. So we got a Discord, we got a line chat. Yeah, if you want to join in, and I recommend you do, just comment below and let us know who you are, what server you're from, and what you're doing. And yeah, welcome and thanks for playing our game. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.